everyone. Come on in. I'm going to give you some time to come on in. I'm so tired. I haven't had any sleep, but I said I'm doing 30 minutes. I'm doing 30 minutes. How has everyone been? I hope you all are doing well. I'm giving 30 minutes. My daughter looked at me yesterday and was like, "You look like you need some sleep." I have not had any sleep. I am ready to go to sleep. Like yesterday was the first time I had a little bit of sleep. And so today I am going to go to sleep. Like after I do my 30 minutes on here, I'm going home and I'm going to sleep. I'm not doing nothing else but going to sleep. It's a lot going on, but I am going to go to sleep. This is March the 4th. I thought it was March the 3rd. That tells you how much sleep I get between Monday and Tuesday, or what was it, Sunday and Monday? No, it was Monday and Tuesday. I ain't get that much sleep. I'm just so I went to bed last night. So it was Tuesday. Monday to Tuesday. I don't know. I'm starting to lose track. But the topic of today's live is it's not you, it's not them, it's you. Again, it's not them, it's you. So you may be wondering, like, what do you mean by that? It's not your employer, it's you. So let me give you a story. So I knew, because I was a single mom, that I needed to have a job that would allow me to have my summers off, Christmas break off, spring break off, and any other day of the week that would be off because I had young children. And I never thought, somebody had recommended that I should go become a teacher. And I was like, no, they don't make no money. And it's just not the job for me because I thought I wasn't going to have no kids. But lo and behold, I have children. So that means I have more than one. And I knew what type of mom that I wanted to be. I did know that part, right? And so because I knew what type of mom I wanted to be, it was like, okay, yeah, I like children. I already knew I liked children. It wasn't like I didn't like them because I knew I actually wanted 10 kids. I wanted 10 kids. But I got a job because guess what? I had to take care of myself and my children. Hello, Adriana. So I got a job because I had to take care of myself and my children, and the job I chose to have was a teacher. Were there days that I went to work and I was like, what the heck? No, because children make you, well, I like children. So I go in and you never know. Every day is a different day. The only thing that's consistent, hello, Bonnie, is your curriculum. That's the only thing that's consistent. But besides that, you don't know what child you're gonna get when you walk in. All you know is the child's name is Buck, and Buck has a different personality every day he walks in, depending on how Buck is feeling when he woke up, right? But the outliner to this is I kept my job for 13 years. I was with the same employer for 13 years. It is not the job, it's you. There is something within all of us that needs to be developed. I'll say it like that. That's the nicest way to say it. There's something in all of us. There's something in me right now that needs to be developed. I don't know what that is. And I think it's working with people because I do not like working with people. I don't. I like to get the job done and keep it moving and leave my life afterwards. But I noticed in childcare, I can't do that, right? I have a group of people that I have to manage. I have to make sure that they're implementing curriculum. I have to make sure they come to work on time. I have to make sure they're following state rules. I have to make sure that you know, they're following the rules of the business. I have to make sure that they are treating other people with respect. Like I'm basically babysitting grown people, right? But what I'm coming to realize in the sector that I'm in and in the state that I'm in and in the city I'm in, we are recycling employees. When I was a teacher and I worked for Cleveland Metropolitan School District, there was no recycling employees. Like, you got a job in Cleveland, you didn't like it, you left. You liked it, you stayed, right? Some people, most people, they go to another district after year 3. You're not 3 years in teaching, you're not going to another district. Like, you don't have time for that, because guess what? You're not building a pension. So I've seen a lot. I went to work, I did my job. I've been harassed by a boss before, but because the boss didn't like me, I didn't sit there and get fired. Guess what I did? I went to the union. Like, you do your job. So it's not the job, it's me, but that developed me as a person. Me staying on with CMSD for 13 years developed me as a person. It made me it showed me what my weakness was. It showed me what I needed to improve on. It showed me what my strength was. I learned I'm a fighter by staying at my job for 13 years. That's what I learned. Thank you. I learned, Fatima, thank you. So I learned that I'm a fighter. John Fullerton, get off. If you don't like what I have to say, go find somebody else that you can entertain. Have a great evening. So, I learned that I'm a fighter. I learned that it does not matter what somebody else does. All that matters is what I do and how I respond. And that's what I would tell somebody else. Like, if you keep going from center to center in your city, it can't be the centers. Every center is it's something wrong with every last center. And these centers are full of children. It has to be something within you, and then you just need to figure out what that is and work on it. That's it. You have goals. You have goals, and you should accomplish those goals. Whatever it is, you have a life after you leave work. You have something that you like to do. You have something that you go to that job for to get it checked. But what I really think the real issue is, and let's talk about that, is that you never sat down and figured out what you really liked. I knew at a young age I like helping people. I knew that. And I knew that with children, if I volunteered with children, which my first kind of real, like my first volunteer experience was volunteering in a child care, after school care program with children who were homeless and helping them with their homework and all of that. That was my very first volunteer experience. So I knew that. But what is it that you like to do? I knew I like children. There's something I like to do, and I do that after work. I like to travel. I've been traveling since I was a little kid. So I knew that my job was to take care. I had my job to take care of me, my 3 children. No, I'm sorry, my 4 children, my children, and myself. And I had to pay all of my bills for me to live on earth. So that's rent, insurance, car note, electric, gas, food, clothing, like mortgage payments, whatever it is that you have, that is what you have a job for, is to meet your needs. If I want to go out to eat, my job should cover that. You have to sit down and evaluate what you want to do with your life. I can't tell you what you want to do. Only you can tell yourself what it is that you want to do. What are you passionate about? If if it gets hard and you don't like your boss, what is it that you would do no matter what? Like, I'm gonna fight for this job because I I really, this is what I know I was called to do, right? This is my purpose. Is it doing hair? If you know that you were called to do hair, why are you working in childcare? If you know that you were called to be a real estate agent or to be a real estate investor, why are you working in childcare? Do you like children too? Do you want children but you can't have any? So you want to be, like a mom to somebody else's kid? I don't know. Only you know what why you picked that job. But you should not be picking a job because it pays you. There, you could go work at McDonald's and get paid. You could go work at the grocery store and get paid. You could go work at Walmart and get paid. You should pick a job because it's something that you like. It's something that you enjoy. So it's not the job, it's you. Every job has the same basic requirements to do the job that I have given you based on the job description. There are no jobs that don't have that requirement. You are a team player. That's another unlisted job requirement. We are working as a team. We have a goal to accomplish. If someone falls short today, it is our job as a team to uplift them, to step in. Hey, what's going on? Are you okay? I heard, it seems like you kind of out of it today. Is there anything I can help you with? What's wrong with asking somebody? You don't know the difference between somebody asking somebody, are they okay? And somebody taking advantage of you? Like you don't know the difference between the two. I don't believe that. So it is our responsibility when you work for somebody to work as a team, to come in with a plan. Your plan is to show up to work on time. Now, I could never show up to work on time. I'm not going to sit up here and act like I could. I am the queen of I got 50 million things. When I say I have accomplished like 15 different things by the time I wake up and to the time it's time for me to set foot in the center, I am being absolutely serious. Where I just explained to a employee today, I'm like, most people, they get up 30 minutes before they supposed to get to work. They ain't took no bath, they throw on some clothes, they headed out the door, right? Whereas people who know what their destiny and their purpose is, they're up early. They're up 2 hours, 3 hours before they have to show to work. They're doing all the little different tasks that they need to do within their home. They're leaving out in a timely fashion, and they're arriving to work on time. Why? Because that job pays, supports their lifestyle. That job supports their lifestyle. You have to find out what it is you're passionate about. You absolutely have to find out what it is you're passionate about. You need to do it early. You do not need to do it late. You need to do it when you are when you're younger. But let's even forget that let's say that nobody ever talked to you like this. Nobody ever told you that you need to find what you're passionate about and find a way to make money off of doing it, right? To support your lifestyle. Let's say you at a place in your life where you are a child care worker. You don't like where you at. Maybe you don't like the boss, but guess what? You get your check when it's payday, right? When you get your check, that's a way for you to figure out, how can I take my check and invest in the thing that I like? How can I take my check and invest in me? Even if it's doing another skill. So how can you do that? What can you do to invest in yourself? That's what you got to figure out. I can't tell you. You have to figure that out on your own. But I have always done the things that I like. Always. Always, always, always. I've never done something. And if I didn't like it, I knew, look, this is going to pay my car note. This is going to pay my insurance. This is going to pay my um my mortgage. This is going to pay my light bill. This is going to pay my gas bill. You have to figure all of that out. I can't figure it out for you. And you can't, and even if it's late in life, you can still figure it out. It's nothing wrong with figuring out at a later stage in life. Like, I completely changed my whole career. I just knew I was going to retire as a teacher at 65 with my pension and live the rest of my life in pure joy, because now I get a guaranteed check. I put in my time. I was not worried about being a principal. I knew I would be an excellent principal, but I didn't want to be a principal. Like, I really didn't, because guess what? I liked my summers, my Christmas, my spring break, and all the other professional development days that we had off. I liked learning. So for me to have a set job for the rest of my life, I was okay with that. And I made good money. I know people are like, teachers don't make that money. I started off making $43,000. When I left, I made $100,000. And that was with 15 years of experience. And I didn't say that was with Cleveland, but when I left teaching, I made $100,000. So you cannot sit up here and say that teachers don't make money. But guess what? When you're in a career, no matter what career it is, even if it's in childcare, if you keep doing it, you improve in education, you get more certifications. Maybe you pick up a degree, because in education, guess what? You need a degree. It doesn't matter if it's little kids, if it's big kids, or anything in between. When you are teaching someone, you need a degree. So when you get a degree, there are certain things that you're guaranteed. And what that is job security. It really is. You can go anywhere and be a teacher with a degree. It does not even have to be like a specialty. Somebody will hire you, and they need teachers now. They need so many teachers because people don't want to be a teacher. They don't want to deal with somebody else's kid. And during COVID, what we found out is people don't respect teachers. Teachers were right about kids, how they were unruly, disrespectful, not doing anything. Parents found out that the teacher was right, and now they wanted to send the kids back to school. But the teachers, because they had a break, they didn't want to deal with the kids anymore. So they left and started doing other things that they enjoyed, other things that gave them peace, that they didn't have to go back and forth with anybody, go through bureaucracy because they were trying to do the right thing, right? So you have to find a career that will help you achieve the lifestyle that you want to achieve. I don't know what that looks like for you. I really don't. I don't, because guess what? I knew from a young age the three careers I was going to go into, right? I knew from a very young age. I had three careers set. And when I was in high school, that was, I wanted to be an attorney, I wanted to be a doctor, or I wanted to be a singer. Those were the three careers that I had. And as I got older, I started off with singing because it was like, I could do this. Like, it's a whole bunch of people who are actually singers and they can't sing, right? And we were trying to get a singing, contract, record deal. Even when I was in college, I was like, well, if I can't be a singer, I learned that the record recording executives, they get paid good money, right? They make more money than the singers. I was like, oh, I could easily do that. I could work my way up. I could do that. But one of the things that I value is character and integrity. I do not. If you like me because you like me, I don't care how much money you make. There is no reason why there should be an issue that you and I are friends, right? If you genuinely like me. And the first thing that came into play was somebody's character and integrity. Two people were hitting it off. They were really enjoying themselves, like not enjoying themselves like that, but they just really became friends. Like they liked each other, they liked their personalities. The record execs came in and pulled the other person that wasn't famous into the room. Another famous artist, who I will not say their name because you would know who they are, went to the record exec and said, hey, what's up with this employee? Every time this artist is out, they want this person to be present. It's causing problems. Guess what? The person who worked for the record company got fired. I actually like that person. So when that happened, I was like, oh, this ain't for me. I don't have time for these games. Because if I'm your friend, I shouldn't lose my job because you don't like that we friends. So being in music, being a singer, I was like, nope, that's not for me. In high school, I knew that, hey, I could be an attorney. So I did everything. I took the LSAT. I was like 2 points short. I studied. And instead of like being persistent like I am now, I didn't go back and retake it. So when I went to I was kind of like shattered, like, oh my goodness, I'm not gonna get in law school. And I figured it was a great time. I only had one kid at the time, so it would be perfect for me to transition from undergrad straight to law school. But that didn't pan out, and I don't know what I know now, that persistence is persistence. If you fail the first time, you keep taking it. You keep taking it and you keep taking it and you keep taking it until you are successful. Somebody is going to say yes. So I didn't do law school. And then doctor, I had dropped that maybe by third grade. I was like, I'm not doing that. So when the lawyer didn't pan out, it was like, what am I going to do? And then I remembered the most fun I had in high school was being a marketing education teacher. So I went to be a marketing education teacher. And then the lady when I was in college was like, it's very few jobs in marketing ed. You need to get a business degree. You need to do business education. So then that way, if you can't find a job because the people die in their positions because they love the position so much, then you can go and teach business. And I ended up being successful. So I've been able to teach I was able to teach marketing, but towards the end of my career as a teacher, they wanted me to teach little kids, and there are no career tech programs. But guess what? I realized teaching the little kids prepared me for my job I have now. It honestly prepared me for the job I have now. So, because I had to educate, I had to come up with lesson plans for kindergartners and first graders and second graders and third graders, which is basically a school age program at a child care center. But if somebody wouldn't have displaced me and put me in that building, I would have never been prepared for that. So I'm saying all this to say is that the job is never the job. I promise you, it's never the job. Make sure you subscribe to this channel. Make sure you comment. Make sure you like this video. But it's never the job. It's always you. You have to figure out what you like. You have to figure out what your dreams are, what type of life you want. I've had a couple of young people this week come in, and the top question I asked them is, what is the most amount of money you want to make? And that's what I leave you with. What is the most amount of money you want to make in a single year? What is that amount? And when you come up with that amount, I need you to give every dollar of that amount a name. Because guess what? Now that you done thought about how much you want to make, I know you're going to achieve that. And because you're going to achieve that amount, I need you to write down how you're going to spend this money. So the one person told me like they made $24,000 a year. I was like, wow, I ain't made 24. I made 21,000 in 2000. No, in 1999. That's the truth. So I'm like, wow, $21,000. Like, that ain't no money. Like, how you living? Are you living with somebody? Like, I mean, yes, they're single, but I'm like, $21,000. That ain't no 24. They make $24,000. I'm like, that ain't no money. No money. Okay. So I asked him, like, well, how much do you what is the amount that you really want to make to be comfortable in this city? And I was honest, I was like, making $100,000 in Cleveland is very comfortable. I don't care where you live at. Making $100,000, Alonzo, making $100,000 in Cleveland is very comfortable. So if you make $100,000 in Cleveland, how you gonna spend that money? You have taxes, you have a mortgage, you have insurance, you have a car note. Are you going on? You have your retirement account. Are you going on vacation? How frequently are you vacationing? Right? And a vacation can be anywhere. A vacation can be to another state. But though how you have to earmark every dollar. If your goal, the other person said that they wanted to make $300,000. That's their dream salary. Cool. If you plan on staying in Cleveland, that's a cool salary. Look, that's a cool salary no matter where you stay at in the world, to be honest with you. So, with that being said, put down, give each dollar a category. Each dollar a category. How much does it, if you're going to lease a car, if you're going to own a car, you're going to go into an ownership program with GM, Ford, Chevy, Mercedes, whoever it is, what is your monthly payment? What is your monthly payment? What is your insurance payment on a Mercedes? In the address that you want to stay in the zip code. What kind of house do you want to own? What kind of apartment do you want to rent? Do you not want to own a house? Why you wouldn't want to own a house behooves me and you making $300,000, but that's a whole nother conversation for a whole nother topic. Just because you start off as a child career professional level 1 does not mean that you will end there. Again, just because you start off in Ohio as a career professional level 1 does not mean that you will end there. Most people in this field making decisions, they have a master's degree. They have a bachelor's degree. They are giving you professional advice based on their educational experience, meaning that they have gone to college. One of the issues I see is the people making decisions for early childhood education, they have degrees. The people working in the field day in and day out, they have no degree. They have struggled in education themselves. They have struggled in life themselves. Why are we asking people to educate children who don't value education? They do not understand the importance of professional development. They do not understand why you need to do continuing education. I did professional development this last year. Why are you asking me to do it again? Because things change. You're not, they don't teach the same way they did 35 years ago. So why would you think that your professional knowledge and expanding what you know does not need to be improved? It's you as the employee. It is not the employer. Now, are there some mean people out here? Yes. But they got to where they are because of experiences, right? They got to where they are because of hard work. They came up with a solution to a problem. How are you solving people's problems? I'm on here telling you, it's you. It is you. You have not found out what it is that you like. You wake up, you go to work, you go to sleep. You wake up, you go to work, you go to sleep. That's how life works. And in between waking up, going to work, and going to sleep, you figure out what you like, right? So if you're a kid, you wake up, go to school, and go to sleep. You wake up, you go to school, you go to sleep. Oh, I played basketball in school. I like basketball. So now you wake up, you go to school, you go to basketball practice, and you go to sleep, right? Oh, I like writing. I'm going to join Power of the Pen. So you wake up, you go to school, you go to Power of the Pen after school, and then you go to sleep, right? You find out what it is that you like. I like collecting pennies, right? So they're obsolete now. So whoever has a penny collection, guess what? Your pennies are worth something now. But I want you to figure out what it is that you like while you're working as a child care worker so that you can then turn around and turn your job into something that's helping you fulfill your dreams. That's what you're doing. It's never too late to start. It's never too late to start. The only time it's ever too late is when you take your last breath. But it's never too late to start. So when you go to work tomorrow, I want you to have a new look, a new outlook on your job. I do. I really do. This job is helping me to be who I want to be in the future. Because the truth is, that's what my jobs did for me. I learned so much about myself. I learned that I don't give up easily. I learned that I do value working. I do value having my own money. I also learned that I never want to be homeless, right? I learned those things. Um, I learned that, there's what the devil meant for your bad, God meant for your good. I learned that too. I learned that sometimes situations can be, hard at work and you don't understand, like, dang, why is this happening to me? Why did they try to set me up? I've had people try to set me up. They gave me all the low performing students in the whole school. And when I say low, I mean they was low. Low, low, low. But guess what? That was my most successful year in teaching because they grew the most. So what I learned from that, I really learned like what the devil meant for my bad, God meant for my good. Because if somebody is low and you're a good teacher, they'll always improve. Again, if somebody is low performing and you're an excellent teacher, they'll always improve. There is no way that you can be an excellent teacher, have a low performing student, and the student doesn't learn anything from you. So that year that they tried to set me up and give me all the low performing students in the classroom, that was my most successful year. Hi, Linalia. That was my most successful year in teaching. That was my most successful year in teaching. And so what I would tell somebody is Figure out what it is that you like. Figure it out what it is what you want to accomplish here on earth. Start early. Start early. And once you figure it out, you're going to be successful. So I hope you're having a great time. This message is exactly for the person who is on here right now. I hope you're enjoying yourself. I know the weather is hot. I miss you on the internet. I'm saying that I miss seeing your smile every day. I hope you're enjoying the pool right now. Tell everyone I said hello because I have been nowhere down there. And everybody has a pool. Everybody has a pool. That's the good life. Everybody has a pool, a brand new house, everything. Oh my goodness. So this is my child. So I have to go. All right, take care. Bye-bye. I'm done.